Okay, some Chinese, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You've watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon too. He says, are you kidding? Okay, go ahead.
Kidding? I'm a big fan of a movie, Crouching
I'm a big fan of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is why I'm here. Okay, now let's listen to the next one.
Yes, the movie was shot right here in
Hongchun.
Okay, keep going.
What a coincidence.
He just said he's there because the movie was shot there. And then his first line is, wow, what a coincidence.
There's some big propaganda going on in the world right now, and we need to be aware of it. You and I talk about this all the time, though. It's not just propaganda coming from other countries or people that we would identify as quote unquote like enemies. Right. People who disagree with us completely on having a free market or a free system of government or something where we can speak freely. Those are obvious.
Correct.
Enemies. It's sometimes coming from people on what we would consider to be our friendlies, right? And they're putting stuff out that's not necessarily true, or it's sensationalizing stuff or whatever. There's stuff going on all over the place. Just because everybody can say what they want doesn't mean that everything that's said is correct. And so that is the thing that we talk about the most, is go out and look for yourselves. Make sure that you reference the sources that are given. And if no sources or no references are given for what people are saying, then that you should take that with a grain of salt and say, look, I don't know until I go and check this out. Right?
Just a real quick side shoot, but to kind of support your point even further, is to that quote that Elon gave, he's given it multiple times, is that you are the media now, and referring to Twitter or to referring to X. And I agree with him to a large extent. But many of the people that get the most engagement on X are simply copy pasting headlines and select passages from work that other reporters from like Axios or Wall Street Journal. So the legacy media that they are purporting to replace, they're actually just cribbing their work, copy pasting it, removing the link, and also removing any sort of context and putting it out as their own reporting.
Right.
So just check the source, copy paste a line, see what the actual context surrounding the claims is. Right. Sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's not, but we need to train ourselves to consume media in this new infrastructure that we're living in.
Exactly, right? So propaganda is a very effective tool, right? It got somebody who was polling at 3% elected, essentially not elected, but as the front runner in the
and we
first
all use
round.
propaganda. This America's it's called Hollywood. It's called Nike.
That's right, baby. Sucker. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been employed by every regime since the dawn of time, right? But in today's world, China, they're one of the top purveyors of this because they really need to be.
Spend a lot of money.
They spend a ton of money and a ton of time on this, and they chain you to desks until you get this stuff done. And one of their favorite ways to show the wonderful Chinese lifestyle, and think about this, like, this is kind of some of the same things we were doing in our kind of Cold War with Russia, showing how good things were in the United States.
Correct.
And they were trying to do the same thing, trying to show how good things are in Russia compared to the United States. And that's kind of
shows which system works better, because the system translates to a good quality of life.
Exactly, right? And so this is what they're doing here. And they're doing it in one of the most cringe ways possible with white foreigners.
走江湖靠的是诚信业。
你也看过《卧虎藏龙》
Are you kidding? I'm a big fan of a movie, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is why I'm here.
A Russian
The
guy?
movie was shot right here in Hongchun.
What a coincidence. Great. My name is Hu Dawei.
Is he's doing a Chinese accent?
Rual, he might be French.
Here, it's surrounded by mountain and water.
Rual?
That is not.
Interesting
I mean,
I'm not saying he's not French, but that's definitely an accent.
600 years old, which designed by a woman.
This is incredible. Are you telling me that 600 years ago, women in China could already achieve such a thing?
This is
Well,
Tom Mayer.
they killed the woman right after because it couldn't bind her feet.
Oh, would you like me to fuck your car?
what is this coincidence thing?
Place.
I have a point on that.
Change.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
You're going to shoot an arrow?
Yeah, sounds great.
Here we use a lot of salt, just like a
What a coincidence.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. We have to do this. Please go back to like the first 10 seconds of this clip. I want to point something out.
What happened?
I just caught something and it's hilarious.
All right, we're
Will I think
So
it's
I'll
hilarious?
just play from the very beginning.
Okay, play.
There we go.
Okay, some Chinese, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
你看过《卧虎藏龙》
You've watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon too. He says, are you kidding? Okay, go ahead.
Kidding? I'm a big fan of a movie, Crouching
I'm a big fan of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is why I'm here. Okay, now let's listen to the next one. Keep going.
Ah, shit, I fucked it.
It's all right.
Go.
Yeah.
Yes, the movie was shot right here in
Hongchon.
Okay, keep going.
What a coincidence.
What a he just said he's there because the movie was shot there. And then his first line is, wow, what a coincidence.
Obviously don't understand what the word coincidence means.
What a coincidence. Or the reason I came. These people are idiots.
I gotta tell you, my favorite part is the smelly fish pizza.
I know. Like, hold on. Listen, guys. Time out.
Okay.
If you're gonna have something that makes me want to go to China, it's not smelly fish pizza. Okay? You gotta pick something that resonates with your audience a little bit better, all right? You could do better at propaganda than that.
Yeah, poop sewer pie.
Yeah.
You can literally just show people drinking Qingdao beers in a karaoke room for 12 hours and it would
you'd be fine.
a
Oh
lot
my God.
better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Actually,
come
great
visit
time.
Haiti. Our mud pies are the best.
Show a ping pong table in a sweatshop. That's what you want to see.
There you go.
That's
I
rural
want cheap
China.
iPhones and soccer balls,
Yeah,
okay?
hard-working
That's-
children
They do work hard.
Listen,
That like
you-
to take a load off their hard day with a cold beer.
and smelly fish pizza.
Jeez, smelly
Get
fish
back to the
pizza?
Temu factory.
Well, it's not only, wonderful productions like that, it's also propaganda taking over on X, right? And look, these guys are basically saying like, hey, what a wonderful place this is. Look at how much fun I'm having. Look at what a great party this is. And here's one from Daniel Dumbrill. I guess that's
It's
perfect,
apt.
perfect naming. The friendly faces of Xinjiang. I had a week-long challenge to put together a party in Kashgar, ancient city. Is that pronunciation
Yeah.
correct? I had attract at least 100 guests and spend less than 500 Monopoly money that they have. Many locals helped make this happen, and I made great lifelong friends along the way.
You know who can't travel to Kashgar, Xinjiang?
Who?
Foreigners.
Oh,
You know who can't use X? People in China. You can't use YouTube? People
So
in
that's-
China. Yet some random white guy happened to get state-sponsored trips and be able to post all this on X. Interesting, right?
I don't think that's real. Here's another one.
won a contest.
He won. Go. You only foreigner allowed here. Why don't they allow
win the
foreigners in
ancient
that
city
city?
lottery.
To roam freely in
ancient
Kashgar,
city.
in Xinjiang,
Yeah.
where the Uyghurs are.
Well, don't look at me like I should know
No,
this
you do
stuff.
know this.
Yeah.
That's where the Uyghurs are.
I didn't know that's where the Uyghurs were.
Xinjiang?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, that's where the
where
Uyghurs
the
are.
Uyghurs-
That's
Wait,
the,
hold on.
That's the
is this the
autonomous-
free Uyghurs or is this the imprisoned in internment camp Uyghurs?
That's the Uyghurs with attitude.
There's only one Uyghurs, Gerald. They're all imprisoned.
No, I know, but they haven't rounded all of them up, Tim. Surely some still are in the
They've been
wild.
working very hard.
Okay. They have better surveillance systems
Yeah.
than we do.
Oh,
That
yeah.
party must have been
Fine.
awesome. They're wigging out. That was a fail.
That was
Yeah.
Hey, admonish.
Yeah, all right.
something in my cup.
We're going to wait for this one. Here we go.
Admonish. My admonishment yesterday was completely out of line. That one, well
I'll give you
deserved.
pretty good.
All right, wait till your bad jokes, Joe.
What do you mean, wait? They're all bad jokes from me. Good luck picking them out. Andy Borham, I don't care. South Korea has entered martial law for the first time since 1980. Did you know Taiwan was under martial law for a staggering 38 years from 1949 until 1987? Question mark. Thousands were executed during that time for alleged political crimes.
Yes, we know because it's an open society where you can easily read the history of the country.
That's also true. And by the way, the
one's
minute
hiding it.
South Korea
Yes.
does something, there's like, look at what's happening over here, and the thing that China should take back over, probably according to this guy.
What happened in 1989 in Beijing in Tiananmen Square? Nothing. Not a damn thing
No,
happened. Same
not-
guy would say that.
They all ate stinky fish pizza.
They and 10,000 people died.
It makes you forget.
This next one's the worst.
Jason Smith. You don't like this guy, do you?
I get in fights with him quite a bit on Twitter.
Is he like your Robert Reich? Because I
He's
don't
taller.
like Robert Reich. Well, he's taller,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe he's
So is the entire.
he's a giant. Listen to what this guy has to say. Two philosophies of international relations. China approaches the world with the idea that everyone wants to become prosperous and we can work together to do that. The United States approaches the world with the idea that everyone wants to rule the world, and it must be the U.S. or it will be someone else. One is peaceful, the other tyrannical.
The last part's right.
I mean, yes. But to think that China wants to kind of come at this from a peaceful kind of place is absolutely foolish. But, he's being paid for it, obviously. But I think he might have just stolen that from, Uncle Kurt Smith of Tears for Fears, potentially. hadn't seen that.
I hadn't either.
They do want to rule the world. So here's a truth.
Just keep going, Gerald.
I'm just going to wait. There we go. It's a Friday
Wait,
show.
we didn't set it up with the claim truth segment.
I said, here's the truth. There was no claim.
Oh, so why am I hitting
He made the claim because I said truth.
True Social. Check it out.
China does not approach the world peacefully at all. Tim's just going to throw an admonish randomly on me, and I'm not going to know when it's coming. You don't really want to mess with the people who control the soundboard or the video because they'll just eat your lunch. Any hole will do. I deserved.
That is the truth.
Okay, fine. All right, look, this is serious, guys. China does not approach the world through a peaceful lens. You want some examples? I've got them. High schoolers reenacted the assassination of Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo
Abe.
All right, everything looks fine here. Who's this guy in the Adidas jacket?
Oh, no.
Good. That's sarcasm. That's crazy.
Supposed to be
So let me put it to you this way. You want to know the equivalent? Maybe this might be correct. Tell me if I'm wrong. This would be like Russia reenacting the JFK assassination with high schoolers.
Yes, it would
Right?
be.
Something equivalent.
If someone staged an assassination or anything similar to that of a Chinese leader, the Chinese diplomatic corps would be on the first plane to those foreign capitals, demanding to take the video off the internet, demanding concessions, demanding kowtowing and apologies.
Yep.
But they do it. It's no big deal because they're a peaceful society.
Ah, yes. Well, they're also peaceful because they, annex the entire South China Sea with the 9-dash line here, which a little bit of trade goes through there, I think.
The whole South China Sea.
Yeah, that's right. Chinese Coast Guard, they ram Philippine ships near the second Thomas Shoal. By the way, ramming is not...
Look at where that is.
Bumping in, ramming way, way, way far away from China.
The red dot is where they're claiming to be their territory.
All the way down. They just want domination. Just don't be fooled. They're annexing Bhutan, which, you may not care a whole lot about Bhutan, but Bhutan people care a whole lot about Bhutan.
No. We don't want to rule the world. We want to own it.
Ah, that's right. We want to enslave it with debt. They're spying on U.S. telecom as well. We've talked about this, hacking the communications. And by the way, a little, just this one's kind of mean. This one's kind of, the cultural imperialism doesn't stop until they claim kimchi was actually Chinese.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit. That did not sit too well in Korea at all.
It didn't sit too well, but fermented cabbage belongs nowhere in American culture, in my opinion.
Get out. That's the worst take that's ever happened.
That is not true. We'll have a kimchi taste off. My wife had some kimchi recently because it's good for gut health, right?
Yes.
And the smell stays with you for days, whether you want it to or not.
No, it does not. You're like...
That's
smelly.
the Chinese kimchi. It's made
you might have gotten some of that Chinese kimchi.
No, dude,
That's
I got the real deal. I
know.
think I sent you a picture one time, and I was like, dude, look, this is kimchi. I know.
don't
Lane will
know.
think
I
I'm
would.
cool.
I like
Definitely
kimchi.
Chinese kimchi.
It's so good.
I dated a girl named Kimchi in middle school.
Sounds hot.
She was
Was she fermented?
white,
Was she fermented?
very yeasty.
So here's the deal. The Chinese Communist Party, they know that Western ideals are incompatible with their own survival. And so, of course, what they're going to try to do is make sure that their citizens don't look at our society and go, that's a better system.
Correct.
That's a better place. They're going to make sure that their citizens don't have access to all of the information that would show them that kind of stuff.
That is a perfect point, because they constantly say we can coexist with each other. We can
Right.
live in two spheres. They do
If
not
that was
believe
the case,
that.
then let everybody see what's going on in the rest of the world.
They do not believe, and that is very well revealed in a lot of their internal documents. I want to shout out where we got this next piece of information from. I got it from Michael Solobic's Twitter.
Okay.
He has written like Countering China's Great Game, and he pretty much lays out how China runs their information, their Belt and Road Initiative. He's fantastic.
The book that we can get?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I would really check it out if you want to understand more about this.
I do. I want to understand more about, I read a book about Russia's history, and I think this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. This was before the Ukraine conflict. I was just very interested because I'm like, I need to know what happened in Russia to kind of catch me up, right? So that sounds like something that I would enjoy as well, because these are major players in the world, whether you agree with them or not, which we don't typically agree with just about anything that they do. But these are major players, and it's very helpful to understand what's going on in these places and how they got there. Why, for example, Russians were given freedom and chose to go back into essentially slavery because it had some benefits that they societally could understand. Like, I may have to wait in line for food, but at least I know it's provided to me by the government. I don't have to go out and earn it myself. Like, they had gotten so accustomed to having the government run these things that they didn't understand how to be free. It was very difficult.
You'll see that from North Korean defectors all the time. They'll go back to North Korea because they're so unaccustomed to living in a capitalist society.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff like that. So maybe that book would be a good one. We'll have Lane tweet that out, and I'll repost it as well. I don't know, post and tweets. I just mix the two of those. But Document 9. What is Document 9, and tell us why that's important?
It is from the first People's Party Congress after Xi Jinping took power he took power in 2012, but in 2013 is when they had this People's Congress. I believe, you can fact check me on that, but it is essentially an internal document that got circulated laying out how the leadership in China needed to be on the lookout for how Western ideals were infiltrating Chinese society and why that would be dangerous to the survival of the Communist Party.
Gotcha.
Not the survival of the Chinese nation, mind you.
The people in charge were like, hey, look out.
And in this document, they'll constantly refer to putting party above country and how the Western ideals. And when I say Western ideals, I don't mean like liberalism and the LGBT. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like our constitutional principles, like the Bill of Rights, essentially.
Right, exactly. So with regards to the Constitution, constitutional principles like separation of powers, general elections, and independent judiciaries are capitalist concepts. And when they say capitalist, they mean bad.
Yes.
Right? They look at capitalist as the big evil, right, that they're referring to there. So also with regard to journalism, the West uses freedom of the press to undermine China's principle that the media should be infused with the spirit of the party. Read that as propaganda. Say whatever we ask you to say, and if anything bad happens, like the 7,000th bus driver going off of a bridge and killing 70 people or whatever, then we're not going to talk about that.
Correct.
Right? That's the kind of stuff. Or if they have failures globally, right? And so it's one of those things where it just becomes state propaganda. So infused with the spirit of the party. Yeah.
It's like CNN got a little tingle in their pants when they read that.
They did. They were like, oh man, I wish we had that here.
MJ Lee got all excited.
Here's the regard to history. Recently, some people took advantage of Comrade Mao Zedong's 120th birthday in order to deny the scientific and guiding value of Mao Zedong thought. By rejecting CCP history and the history of a new China, historical nihilism seeks to fundamentally undermine the CCP's historical purpose, which is tantamount to denying the legitimacy of the CCP's long-term political dominance.
They said it.
They kind of just said it himself. I don't really even have to explain that. They're like, you're going against the party.
What they're saying is if you say that Mao's policies killed people and you actually let people know that, then that is denying the legitimacy of the CCP's long-term dominance. They laid it out.
That's kind of the point.
Yes.
We are supposed to be challenging their dominance. But look, go read Document 9 for yourself and just understand when it comes to China, don't believe the bullcrap about them wanting to approach the world peacefully and have everybody succeed. Absolutely not. China is going for dominance. That's not an American viewpoint. That is a global viewpoint. Now, some people don't mind as much because they can play along and make some money in the process because China is buying up mineral rights pretty much anywhere that they can get them. They're investing in economies around the world. Belt and Road Initiative. They've got all kinds of stuff that they are trying to do to set themselves up to be a major player because you have to go through them to get what you want. Not because they're more dominant than anybody else necessarily, but they are playing strategically a little bit better, I think, than we are right now.
They have very, very long-term grand ambitions to supplant us, and supplanting us means a complete decline in the prosperity of the American way of life. That's just the facts on the ground.
Yeah. Watch Slider with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.